Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's me, Chrono JJ, with what should be the last stream for the Age of Mythology Forge of Olympus tournament hosted by Metaplays. It's Kimo versus Matreiuss, the grand final best of 7. Last stream we played we watched the first three games, and tonight we will go through the remainder of the games, however many there may be. Right now it's 2-1 with Matreiuss ahead as we move into game number 4. And like always, I've got the venerable, the almost as old as Chrono JJ, Mr. RyFang is with me as we hop right into this game. RyFang, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad we made it to the finals and got them all in a fairly short period of time as well. So let's wrap things up strong here.
And what do we got? We got Kimo in the red as Zeus and Matreiuss as Poseidon on Mediterranean for game number 4. Now, you tell me, RyFang, when did we last see a matchup like this?
Second this map and the gods came out, I thought the exact same thing you were thinking. We saw this game 2 series ago in the winners bracket finals where they played the same 2 players on the same exact map, and Kimo went Poseidon into Matreiuss's Poseidon and got absolutely steamrolled due to a poor ship, Micro losing a ship or 2 early, and then it kind of just snowballed from there. But the whole game we were talking about, why is Kimo going Poseidon and not Hades or Zeus, who have the restoration, which is probably the strongest god power map combo on this map in the game. And here we go again, rematch, and Kimo's going Zeus this time.
Yeah, he listened to us, even though these games were played like 3 weeks ago. He listened to us. He went Zeus. Will it make a difference though? Because in the losers finals, what was it, like a 9-minute defeat?
Yes,
something like that.
But
so
I am strongly predicting this will not go 9 minutes against Kimo. If it goes 9 minutes, it'll be against Matreiuss this time. I'm not too familiar with how the Poseidon plays this map/matchup. Do you want to elaborate on that, or do you got any more experience to kind of draw on? How's Matreiuss going to counter the resto and actually win this?
He'd just play how he played last game. Just fight water. I don't think there's anything you do differently here. You really can't afford to do anything differently. The thing he gets that would help him a little bit is with the lure. He should age up slightly faster because he gets access to hunt, whereas Kimo has to go with the slower pigs. Though he could probably get this boar to die right around here. Surprised he's not doing that. So it'll be a little bit harder. Oh, now he's doing it. It'll be a little harder for Matreiuss. And probably in an even matchup, I don't know why he didn't pull the board a little bit closer. But in an even matchup, the Zeus should win the water. But it's not a steamroll. It would be long enough to where the Poseidon can get enough fish on water, kind of fish long enough to start up a 2-town center, or maybe even 3-town center boom on land.
Third TCs in water range too.
We do. So that means this one will be right here. So the Poseidon would likely be slightly behind going into the late game, but Poseidon would have ceasefire to buy himself a minute of time.
Does he go ceasefire here, or does he go
Yeah.
pest to try to mess up Kimo's build and get an advantage on water? He went pest game 1, I believe.
Did he? Well, then he might do that again, because the pestilence kind of would give Matreiuss again just a little bit more time to continue to fish before he likely starts losing. He's going he's going Hermes. So there will be no pestilence.
There goes my prediction.
Oh, so much for that, RyFang. Wrong again. And then along with going back to that kind of being able to delay, along with ceasefire, he'll also get militia, which are kind of pretty good at extending the game a little bit. So what do we got? Athena. So we can see he is about 25 seconds ahead, he being Matreiuss. So the little extra food, courtesy of the hunt, does result in a slightly quicker age up time, as we got a few people in chat. Soki, hello to you, all the way in Greece. And A. Shaker, hello, long time. Yes, good to have you here. And for those of you wondering, I saw there was a comment. Who is RyFang? Well, RyFang, old clanmate of mine from 2003, 2004 era. And while we haven't played together that entire time since then, you know, come and go. We'll be together for a bit here, a bit
We
there.
play together every 5 years or so.
Yeah, so we're in that 5-year time period where we're back together and we're doing some games here. And we see, oh, don't want to lose your scout. Oh, 3 hit points. But anyway. So yeah, we'll see the first few boats come through for Matreiuss. Get a little bit of pressure. What Kimo should probably do here, well, he's not too far behind. He can push out. I was going to say you could potentially see him just sitting in his docks. He just needs to play really defensive because he's going to be outnumbered for a while. I mean, because...
I'm surprised Matreiuss got up that much quicker. I think Kimo was possibly... I missed the age times, but was Kimo a little slow? I feel like the gap shouldn't have been that big because now Matreiuss is kind of able to steadily maintain a 2-ship advantage here.
He was 20 seconds ahead was Matreiuss, which is 1 villager plus 5 seconds. So a villager ahead would be normal. The extra 5 is maybe just Kimo trying to get enough food. So I wouldn't say it's abnormal as we see our first little boat dances of the game. I know everybody loves Mediterranean boat fights. See our first fishing ship go down and another one.
We get a second, or getting a lot of damage.
Yeah. The thing is, though, damage out of the boats doesn't help unless you kill them, because we have the impending restoration.
So if you're Kimo here, how many ships do you get up to before you resto? What is there, like a magic number?
As long as you can afford to still be able to kind of fish. I wouldn't do it yet. I would wait till like 20. Because the longer you hold on to it, the more
ships get healed.
You get. Like these fish here, you should be fishing or trying to right now in this, and then just...
Matreiuss has a pretty big fishing advantage.
All right, we got the bolt.
Oh, that was a hero that bolted.
Yeah, I don't... The Minotaur could do... There's a hero coming again.
Yeah, it's still can just any...
Okay, I don't think he's going to kill. Yeah, the hero gets trained quick enough, as we see. Now Kimo is pushing back a little bit with 14 to 13. So Kimo's kind of evened up the numbers. Again, I don't think here's the restoration. So Kimo's used the restoration, I feel like, a little early. And we have the ceasefire used just to continue the boat fight. Okay.
I feel like that went as well as it could for Matreiuss. I don't feel like Kimo got that much of an advantage from it.
Yeah, I agree. If you're
Although
on
the health of the ships, I don't think that many died, but I do think Matreiuss has 3 or 4 that are super low now, and Kimo's are obviously beside that one completely at full health.
There's a
Good
few.
Observing, checking.
It's pretty close. Yeah. He should hold on to the restoration there, because there's really no reason to use it. I mean,
he pushed in. He had map control and didn't need to push in. He
you could
chose
sit back,
to trigger that fight, and chose to use the resto.
Hand axe for Matreiuss. Hand axe and pickaxe. I like seeing both. And some really nice storehouse placements yet for Kimo, who's even going to be building a 3rd storehouse here pretty soon. Kimo's got to watch out. He might be a house soon. And now he goes back. We've got 21 to 21. So now it's even with Kimo with slightly more hit points on his units. You see a little bit of...
I really like this wood
here.
Pressure from Kimo, keeping it going.
Yeah.
That's what kind of separates an okay player from a really good player.
You could almost see Odysseus come out too and join in. It is 200 wood at the cost of some villager production as well, so maybe not. We see now Kimo is building another house. He's almost out. We can see they're almost at exactly the same population right now. So boat numbers are just about even. Nice little start of the... Oh, Kimo probably should just fight this. Ooh, a lot of boats for Kimo are idle on the bottom. Now we see a big fight. Battle of Mediterranean right here. Couple boats idle for Kimo. Kimo's taking a rotten.
Yeah, he's
This
started the fight bad and then got out positioned, and a lot of low HP ships for Matreiuss though.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot right in the middle here that are really low. But I mean, it's even. It's even. Even with the health points are, looks like he's on the upper hand of this. It's about 15 ships to about 18 or 19 for Kimo, which is the difference of the hit points going in. So in the end, turns out to be kind of a win for Kimo, but could have gone a little bit better. But that's okay. And Kimo's almost to the point where he could just ride a ram right in.
He's almost over microing. Keeps repositioning, and Matreiuss is kind of able to just hold ground the whole time. So Matreiuss has like 100% fire rate, while Kimo's kind of repositioning, which is causing movement and not firing. But he has the numbers advantage still.
There does kind of come to a point in boat battles where it's almost worse in a way to micro, because you cancel attacks and your boats reposition a lot.
I feel like their Kimo even could have just pushed in and ended it.
Yeah, he was.
What are the rough number count?
Rough number is 17 to 25. Yeah, just
see, that's why.
Go on in. And he's being super careful here. Yeah,
he's just taking unnecessary HP losses when he could have just camped on top of him.
I'm sure Kimo can count, so he should be able to know that he's got a lot more boats. Matreiuss is splitting up his gold nicely, because it always hurts when your base gold mine runs out, and then if everybody was on the gold mine, you kind of run out of gold production there for a while.
Which we're about to see in 5, 4.
And so, but Kimo he should just push all the way in right here, because he can win it. Just, you don't want to fight under the 3 docks. Like, these 3 boats should get out of there.
Finally doing it, but his gold's gonna run out. So
right. So this is where he
needs to win now. Otherwise, he's gonna
have a lot of idle time. And we can see right now, well, mine's out. He's noticed.
Fairly quick reaction.
88 to 77. So I don't think he's gonna end up being able to win this though, because the reinforcements for the boats for Kimo are going to kind of slow up here for a little bit coming in, which is going to allow Matreiuss to continue to fight here. Because, yeah, we can see Kimo just isn't quite able to push through yet, and now he's going to retreat, and we play on. So, well, you were right, and we aren't seeing a 9-minute victory here. So, Kimo, though, still way ahead in the boat count. As well, now he's losing one for absolutely no reason. And we have a 4 hit point. Theseus gets pounded once, and that's the end. And now we kind of get to that fine point in the game where the fighting on water, you kind of might want to stop at some point to grab a town center. But we aren't quite there yet for either player, though the numbers are 90 pop to 92, so very, very similar.
Another thing to note is it looks like Kimo rebuilt his shore fish economy. You know how he lost the 2 or 3?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
He?
Yep. He built a few more. And Matreiuss taking a few extra
I don't
shots.
think he built that many though. I thought
maybe
he lost
2.
like 1 or 2. I think he rebuilt 1 or something. So maybe not that much. How many?
41, 22. He's got 3, 6, 9. So Matreiuss slightly ahead in the fishing ships. Kimo doesn't want to fight this. He should not fight this. He's got a few boats back here.
A lot of really low HP boats for Kimo.
Yeah, well, for both sides actually. You got a bunch for Matreiuss too that are like 10 hit points. But I think Kimo's might be weaker.
Yeah, Kimo has like a lot of 1 hit from dead boats mixed in there.
And now Kimo is really behind in the boat production. At 94 popped 108, so Matreiuss is about 4 boats ahead, roughly, and probably has more health on his boats overall. And we kind of have the counter push. But again, idle boats here. You got the little hippocampus coming in to tank some damage. These 2 boats are chasing and doing nothing. And I think it now. I mean, it's defender's advantage because you get the docks that can shoot.
I think he'll hold the defenders, the
yeah.
earlier reinforcements plus the dock arrows. I think Kimo will ultimately be able to hold and kind of neutralize things again. Although
Yeah.
it's a little dicey.
I think he's fine. Yep, that's me. It's like opposite day. All over again, we see some. Now this I like. This will be hard for Matreiuss to do anything about, and he's also going to have a lot of idle gathering
he's gonna have to
time
focus
right now.
on saving those vills, which means he's not gonna focus on the idle
Yeah.
ones right away.
No, they're all idle.
Bill does handle it well though.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be busy focusing on the one set and leave the other set idle for a bit.
Let me see.
Did your game or stream freeze?
It's thinking right now. There we go. All right. Like I said, I'm getting a new computer.
This generally doesn't happen in recorded games.
No, it's my computer. That's why I'm getting a new one. And now Kimo is fighting. Nice winning battle here. And
This can be a tipping point for Kimo. Matreiuss is like completely off of both wood lines for
a little bit. Yeah, losing another villager. Odysseus with the long range snipe. Does he get it? There he goes. And yeah, do we have Matreiuss even building any heroes to help defend? He isn't. Oh, here's Theseus. But yeah, this is a lot of idle villager time.
He's wood starved, so he can't, because he's been knocked off the 2 wood lines. Had to build
he doesn't have any wood.
Storehouses. He didn't have the wood to make a secondary hero, so that's why he doesn't have it defending, not by choice, but because he didn't have the resources.
And now Kimo is ahead by the boat count by about 4 ships, so we've got the fight here. And I mean, this is you just retreat the heroes and then re-attack. And I know it's a lot to do because you're trying to micro your boats, you're trying to micro your heroes.
Eco is slightly off. He's floating a lot of wood because he doesn't have the gold. So those extra 4 ships that he could have out would be game here, but he's...
Would almost like to see the second mining upgrade come in, and now Kimo is way up on the docks here. You want to fall back just a little bit with the extra...
Bit of nice micro there from Matreiuss. That one ship idled like 7 or 8 Kimo ships and caused the fallback.
Here comes the heroes coming back in over here.
Matreiuss have his ranged hero queued?
No. I think he's hoping he can just hold with a bunch of villagers and Theseus. And yeah, as long as these fights aren't under the dock, right now we see Kimo is at full pop, so this is a good time for him to fight, because Matreiuss is not. Matreiuss floating. Both players are floating a ton of
docks?
food. Yeah, Kimo is too.
Kimo's on 4.
Oh,
no.
4.
Oh, or is he on... Yeah, he
1, 2, 3,
dock
4 docks and 2 pigs. And Boyd with the spoilers in the chat says the Greek player wins. Ah, Boyd! But that little wood harass there might have been enough to kind of put Kimo over the edge finally, because is Matreiuss even queuing up? Okay, so Matreiuss has stopped queuing boats, and now is where he'll just shift or try to shift as quickly as possible to town centers, and he's going to grab this one. But Kimo does have... Kimo could block this town center from being built if he produces if he throws some hoplites and toxotes up here and just queues them on top of this town center along with the heroes. He could prevent this.
He prevents that, and the other one's in water range.
That would be so big.
Matreiuss is not in a good spot here, having lost water, and losing water with the TC in water range just makes it that much worse.
Actually, he doesn't actually know this is here. He's kind of got the fog of war edge to where he knows the settlement is there, but he actually hasn't scouted the settlement foundation. So he might not realize there's a town center up there. And my game is frozen. My game doesn't like water maps. You see now hero and hero. This town center is fine. 2 heroes will probably cancel out. We got... Come on, guys. Oh, they're just going to retreat. Real brave.
The water support's coming. That's what they're waiting for.
Yeah, there they are. But yeah, these units need to sit on... Kimo could go 4 to 2 town centers or just 3 to 2 town centers if he really wanted to right now. He just doesn't quite know.
If you're the Greek player Kimo with the advantage here, you just go straight mythic for the armory upgrades, the plenty vault, and the quick access to the range ships to do the sea siege.
You might as well, unless you can block the town center. But yeah, if it becomes a 3-3 town center game, yeah, you might as well just age up. And Matreiuss, we missed this. He ended up, he stopped queuing boats for a while, and now he has re-queued boats all up in the Mediterranean Sea here. And Kimo will probably follow suit with more. So we have a rebirth the water fight. It just keeps going. The water fight that keeps giving. But Kimo should still win this.
Kimo jumped ages, though, during that, and also took the additional TC.
Right.
So
I don't see how this is going to work for Matreiuss.
I think the only reason you do fight back on water here if you're Matreiuss is because you're afraid of the TC being in water range.
Probably, yeah, because if he doesn't fight this back. But I don't think he's going to win. I think just a little bit too far behind. Kimo's fighting under 3 docks here.
The Scala also.
And we have the Scala. Yes, you have the Scala that'll be coming out pretty soon. I do like this forward build here that Matreiuss has got going on.
Kimo not bought that, so I see it.
He should
Kimo
have.
Fog of War.
Let's see.
It should be clearly visible. The villas are right next to it.
Yeah, he's got it. He just doesn't notice it right now. And Matreiuss is pushing in for now, but once the Skillet comes out, or maybe even 2 if Kimo just gets a little bit more favor, and Kimo defends anyway. And Matreiuss, with all of that resources pumped into the sea, he's stuck now in Age 2 for a little bit. But this water pressure maybe did distract Kimo enough to where Matreiuss can get this town center in the top, and we see Askilla coming in. Does Kimo get 2 more favor? A little bit of pressure here that Kimo hasn't noticed. He was just a little too slow to wall this off, and this cheeky villager came through. And Kimo has not noticed, and this will do a little bit of damage. It's not the end of the world. I mean, Kimo's got 3 town centers. The villagers will replenish. The Skilla tank so much damage. 69% pierce armor. That's a lot. And you can see it's resulting in an easy win here. Matreiuss still queuing boats from these docks.
Your stream crash.
Oh, it's good. It's
game's paused.
Yeah, I know.
Your stream itself is.
Well, it's pausing for me too. We just need to get off of a water map.
Bill counts are similar. I mean, they're both 77 to 76 land vills, and 10 fishing ships to 6 isn't a huge advantage.
They trapped Theseus. Bowsaw and pickaxe. Oh wow. And just hand axe and pickaxe, and a whole lot of idle villagers, and a whole lot of inefficient villagers, and oh, Bob the Hydra eating a villager up here. Man, I love the Hydra. Nice little raids though, down on the bottom. There she goes. Hydra looking pretty happy for that. And now we should be able to definitively say Matreiuss is still queuing. He's only queuing boats out of 2 docks though, so this is just a waste of resources. How'd he pops them? Does Kimo notice? Yeah, he notices.
Yeah, like the Kimo. It's not like Kimo's even low on numbers or low on HP, so I feel like that must have been an auto queue mistake on Matreiuss's.
He's still making them.
Kimo also getting the heroic upgrade for the arrow ships, which is gonna make them.
Yeah, it's a long upgrade though. Takes a while to get in. This raid here starting to do more damage than I kind of thought it would. He's killed one
to deal with because I don't think he has military production to kind of counter.
He's got some buildings. He's just not doing it. Lion? Oh. Not quite. So this is keeping maybe Kimo into the game a little bit, or not Kimo, Matreiuss in the game a little bit. Just these 5 units that now are almost dead, but we've got some really low villagers here.
The only thing is Kimo's on 3 TCs and has the eco, so while a bit of harass, he can kind of just remake the vills at this stage in the game.
Right. It's not. It slows down Kimo a bit because, yeah, the win condition for Kimo is to age up to Mythic. Man, this is freezing. And to get the upgraded siege boats. And without with ceasefire already being used, he should be able to
Those
just roll
arrow
through.
ships with the range also can make things so much difficult for Matreiuss trying to get units by, because now you can't even fight along the near choke points. You've got to focus on the walls on the far choke points because the range on those arrow ships is just insane. Like if he parked his arrow ships down there, he'd pick those off in seconds.
Okay, here comes the Hydra. The Hydra's gonna come down there and finish off this little foray.
Surprised he hasn't camped any of the arrow ships where the production's coming out, because again, you make things a lot more difficult on Matreiuss because he can only waypoint his units in a specific direction. Otherwise, the ships will pick him off.
He's wanting to get the docks killed first. And now again, another annoying little raid. Kills a few villagers, some idle time. The Hydra coming down. Oh, Bob. He'll eat this up. Come on. There you go. Alright, this will finish this little raid up here. Hydra's kind of slow. Oh, a curse! Oh, it doesn't get the Hydra, though. Kimo, though, because of this eco-harass, is he aging up? Yes, well, he will be as soon as this villager starts producing. So that's where all his resources went. So yeah, he's aging up. Dionysius got a nice little palace here. Or fortress, I guess. Hydra's gonna do what Hydras do. There he goes, 2 heads. Now we start seeing some damage coming up. Man, I love this unit. Look at him go. So cute, too.
They could be healed. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Ooh, infantry trained faster. That's a nice relic. This Hydra just munching 3 heads. Yeah. Yeah, you can't heal. That's where you need like a Greek ally or extended edition. And just some little bit of pressure down here. Just pretty annoying. But, I mean, Kimo could have just made like 5
Look at the mythic timings. Matreiuss is almost matching him.
Yeah, he's about 20-30 seconds behind. Not as much eco. Banked anyway. And he'll have to
and
fight
the big thing
water.
is going to be the water. Kimo's
Right.
just going to be able to pop out. Oh, did Kimo just...
He deleted a
both of
few
those little
boats.
low HP
Yeah,
one?
and now he's
Although
just...
he's making pop for it. You can
yeah.
already see it. He's immediately going to go for it.
Yep, so here he comes with the Juggernauts. And yeah, the first thing you do as soon as you hit Mythic Age is to get that upgraded siege. And Matreiuss building a palace. A lot of cav for Matreiuss, actually. Like, Kimo does not have a land army right now, and this is a lot of cavalry that Kimo could be in a little bit of danger.
With those bills, so
yeah, if you noticed.
Huge.
If you noticed, the palace is done. But Matreiuss, despite being way behind by score, like on land, is in a nice spot. But you gotta be worried about this.
He's not going to be winning this if he falls down in TC, so that's where his problem is. Although, Kimo's got most of his gold to the top here, right?
Yeah, we've got
the gold situation.
lion.
Kimo's got both his gold mines to the top here with nothing to defend against the cav, and then to the bottom, Matreiuss has like the 6 or 7 military buildings camping that gold.
Oh, Matreiuss, does he... Okay, he knows about the villagers up there. He's sending half of his squad down here. We have this big boss of a Hydra, though. Upgraded walls. Kimo's trying to wall these Hippocon, I guess, in. Another skill over here.
The problem is there's no defense for this TC from the land siege.
Yeah. And now we just got the upgrade come in for Kimo. So he'll be able to siege this down. We have Matreiuss trying to build some more docks, but a lot of villagers getting killed by Matreiuss.
They get Kimo sitting on 170 gold and
Yeah.
limited income because he's got no protection up here. Just that one
Yeah.
Hydra and the heroes, although some pops finally starting to make their way out.
Yeah, the Hydra though he's only got 135, but he'll do a lot of damage and tank a decent amount before he dies. So yeah, he did a pretty decent amount. And Bel Airfon has a huge attack, but not a lot of hit points without all the upgrades. Only 20%.
I wonder if the wall's messing with is Matreiuss trying to reinforce and
kind of, yeah. Walls up and the Colossus coming through. Be faster for him just to eat this tree and then move through.
How's the TC doing from the water siege?
Almost down. We do have these docks over here. So Matreiuss trying to do something about it. Kimo.
If you are Matreiuss, though, like, I guess outside of the gold star, which he's trying, but with trading and
Ooh, look
trade
at this,
caravans
though.
coming, I just don't. How does he work his way back? Because anything he can do, Kimo can do pretty much just as well at this point
Oh,
in the game.
oh, these villagers could be getting walled in here. No, 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 the hole's right here. No, he's moving up here.
What?
Oh, the villager was. Oh, man.
Kimo and his walling.
Oh. Come on. That was like perfect. He miswalled and let him in, and then clearly the hole's there, and he walls the non-hole.
I guess his arrow ships were out of position at that point, but worst case, even if it was where he secondary walled it, would have at least had arrow ship coverage potentially, but I guess they were across the map dealing with the docks.
We've got upgraded hoplites with really good.
Not a lot of buildings for. I mean, he's got the bit of production, but I don't think Matreiuss has much secondary production to the bottom where his TC has gone down. So that'll make it easier for Kimo to push out, which we can see he's already doing with the ghost building coming up by that TC.
If Kimo had just a little bit more economy, he would be able to just send his villagers up here and grab this. But he's actually forcing a lot of idle time from Matreiuss, who is sitting only at 124 pop right now and has no gold in the bank because he's got to switch sides. So this push kind of looks nice for Kimo with the Colossus eating the gold mine. Or Matreiuss. Looks nice for Matreiuss, but it's going to fizzle out here pretty quick. This is a lot of resources in 3 Helipolis that are about to go down.
His problem is the population. Like, you're 20 pop down, which just... when trying to push, it's hard enough to push when you're an even population, but to try to push when you're 20 pop down. Although I guess the saving grace is Kimo does have a good solid 30 pop tied to water still.
Yeah, so
technically on land, Matreiuss actually probably has a population advantage despite down a TC. Like, that scale should be deleted. Yeah, actually no, this could cost Kimo. You keep Matreiuss in it. He's got the 5 pop on the Scala that should be deleted and the 5 pop in the Colossus, but
Matreiuss just resigns.
If
only he would have known.
Control, that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, he was so idle for so long. 115 pop. His villagers are just now coming up here. So Kimo wins the Greek war on Mediterranean and knots up the series now 2-2. I'm going to real quick restart my Age of Mythology to try to kind of refresh it. And in the meantime, we've got a question about a scarab rush, the timing. Age up at 7 minutes, start pushing at 8. It can be slightly later than that. You're probably only pushing at 8 minutes if you have a forward tempo, which I like to see with your Eclipse Scarab Rush. But definitely 9 minutes is going to be too slow. I mean, you just have to have enough to where you know there aren't heroes to just instantly attack and kill your scarabs. So 7 minute up is maybe a little bit too quick, but it's around there. 7:30 at 7:15 to 7:30 maybe. Oh, hold on. All right. So 2-2. So now it is a legit best of 3 here that we got going on for the remainder of this this tournament. Best of 3 we're coming down to. All right. Let us get in. You can see my screen, right, RyFang?
Yep. Good. Just summarizing that last game before we move to game 4, it really both players played water equal. I mean, Matreiuss, despite kind of not having the resto, still was perfectly fine early. It was the Kimo catching Matreiuss with the land pressure with the ranged hero and knocking Matreiuss off wood right as his secondary wood line also expired, and then 2 new storehouses, and he didn't have the wood for the hero for a minute or 2, and that's when the game kind of tilted in Kimo's favor.
Yep, once you fall behind and lose that town center, hard to get it back. As we move into game number 5. Oh, I'm liking the matchup. Ra for Kimo. Poseidon for Matreiuss. On Frozen Waste, 1 gold mine in the base.
This is kind of an interesting map for this matchup. I mean, it's also a map that for what, the first 16 years of the game wasn't a map. When did this map kind of get rolled out?
4 years ago, maybe? Somewhere around there.
Like I said, for the first 16 years, it wasn't a map that you'd see these civs going to battle on. But it's kind of it's a weird map in that it's kind of good for both players. The lack of walling on the outside of the map obviously favors the Poseidon with the cavalry and stuff, but at the same time, because the outside is kind of blocked off, the players and the TCs are all kind of closer together, which favors the raw players. So kind of still like the Poseidon, but he can get himself in a tricky position if the raw is able to kind of get that secondary gold secured, and then merc spam from close distance is just a pain.
Yeah, I would I kind of struggle with Ra against Poseidon on this matchup, but Kimo is not me, so maybe he doesn't struggle. But from my experiences, this map is better for the Poseidon than the Ra. And part of it is because the Ra really can't get to any of this secondary hunt. And the Poseidon, of course, also gets lure. So the Poseidon will get a ton of food off of the map that the Ra really won't get. Now, the Ra obviously gets rain, but that's still resources put into farming. And then outside of rain, it's a lot slower than hunt. So the Poseidon can keep up economically, and then kind of the lack of being able to play defensive does harm the Ra here. I'd be a little bit more happy for the Ra if he had the 2 gold mine in the base, but it's just 1.
Does it want to take fog off for a second to see what we're looking like for secondary gold options for Kimo? He does have that fairly nice one behind his secondary TC. That's not
that's not
terrible.
Bad. But it's still not super well protected. I don't know.
I like that he can at least create a choke around the TC and make Matreiuss run around to kind of slow him down a bit in terms of...
I don't know if you do town center here. Like, this is one where I would be tempted to do a Scarab push here with Bast. Scarab push, maybe a 1 town center mythic kind of a deal through Tornado. Because it's a tough map. Because Ra doesn't get any secondary resources. And the town centers, with them being forward, I mean, late game it helps because they get mercenaries, but then they're just a little bit more precariously placed early on, and doesn't necessarily save a gold mine. Boats right here. What kind of relics we got? The Blanket of Empress Zoe, which helps building armor just a little bit. And then, whoa, Pygmalion statue for plus 40% raw villager hit points. Kimo almost scouted that. He just missed it. That's huge. Because did Matreiuss? Matreiuss missed it too. Nobody has actually seen this relic yet, and it's a good one. And yeah, he said, if
Kimo were to have gotten that, do you change your strategy at all? Does he go 2 TC if he has that relic and the raid harassment potential goes down?
Probably. He's going Bast, so he might be doing... You could do a Bast... You could do Bast Hathor here, too. But there is one commenting chat. Yeah, you can't use Shifting Sands if you have Eclipse. And yes, Samir, the Scarab Rush wouldn't necessarily work against certain matchups. Like if you at least the kind of the naked Scarab Rush where you're just sending a couple Scarabs in. At that point, it wouldn't necessarily work, but it can work against like an Odin. because he only has slow hearse here, and maybe the Thor too. It just depends. But
I'm gonna predict. I think we'll see Crocs rather than Scarabs. That's my prediction.
it's a little more standard. That would be the Scarabs is a little bit more of an all-in.
He just garrisoned his bills without empowerment. That was a bit of a
Yeah,
misclick.
he was empowering this monument to soldiers. Yeah, that's not good. I think you're right. You see Crocs here, but even a crocodile push with an Eclipse, you could almost see a.
The relic's been scouted.
Okay, he sees it. Yep, I think he's going right to it. Yeah, he is.
Not gonna mess around.
What? Oh, what? Where you going? Oh, he's trying to check this town center, maybe? Or no, he's got to worried about the Eclipse, or not the Eclipse, the Sphinx raid. But really though, Pygmalion statue kind of eliminates the early Sphinx raid. Because the extra hit points. I mean, plus 40% hit points. It's a bit of a bonkers relic when you think about it, because what it also does, Hathor, Locust will do almost nothing against Pygmalion statue villagers. You almost won't even get a kill. And he is going to grab it. Now is a little bit dangerous, though, if he runs from here and these two Sphinx collapse in on this hunt here. But Kimo doesn't know because the curse of Ra is the bad scouting, which that's good that he has that lack of scouting. We see plow and husbandry. Get husbandry for rain. It is equally important as plow. We have our rain coming in. The question is, with this, with Matreiuss grabbing
it came before he advanced, right? So does that change Kimo's strategy if he noticed that just popped up?
Well, I would consider doing Sekhmet here with the town center grab from Matreiuss. But yeah, these villagers will just live forever because of the Pygmalion statue. But I would be tempted. It's a little bit non-standard Sekhmet. But we'll see. He's gonna go age up now. Likely Hathor. Yeah. So it is Hathor. Gotta run out, don't want to lose your Sphinx. What you do get though with Hathor, I mentioned it briefly last stream, is you save your Locust for when you do a siege tower push on the town center. That way the towers can't get killed by villagers. And potentially that could be just as good as a Scarab Eclipse push. If you have this, you have the Sphinx to kill the Hippocon, and then the villagers would get killed by the Locust. Then you get the town center down anyway. Kimo looks like he's probably going to go to this town center. Or not this town, this gold
What do
mine.
we have for military production / military units coming out for Matreiuss to potentially deny any sort of mid-goal or TC push out from Kimo?
Nothing.
Essentially nothing?
Virtually nothing. It almost looks like he's trying to age up. He's floating quite a bit of resources with an armory built.
A lot of food in his base.
Yeah, I mean, this is what is so... I mean, this is not really Ra's downfall, but this is kind of the side of Ra that a lot of players don't consider, is that, while yes, the Ra's economy is pretty bonkers, the lack of scouting also gives the opponent all of the hurtables, which then makes the opponent's economy a little bit bonkers, too. The Sphinx is not running... Where it... Uh-oh. He's going to try to push through this wall here. Okay, he's blocked out. Hippolyta and the Centaur.
Oh, no!
Oh, where are you going?
Wrong direction.
Oh.
That's huge. That thing with
Bye,
the
kitty.
Eclipse is deadly. When it's dead, it's not so deadly.
Yep. And now here comes all the camels. Pygmalion statue. Really big here. because your play as the Ra is to do a lot of raiding and kill a lot of villagers, but they've all got a ton of hit points. It's hard to get the damage in that you need with your raiding.
I wonder if Matreiuss knew this strategy was coming. Remember was it the Oasis game, the first game of the series that Kimo won? He kind of punished him really hard with the camel play because Matreiuss was stuck classic and had no counter for the camels. Here we see
Yeah, we
Matreiuss
do
just
see him
went
going
straight, fast, heroic,
up.
possibly as a way to deal with the camels better than.
Yeah, he might. We did have a third Sphinx made. And now we have the Locust, but again, Pygmalion statue. Unless the Croc hits something, we're gonna see no villagers. Well, these ones just ran right through, but still just one dead from this Locust. That's not what you want from a Locust. One dead villager. A lot of idle time, but one dead villager. Not a whole lot of damage done. Now, the Sphinx do absolutely massacre Prodromos. So Matreiuss needs to get out to Atalanta. And oh no. Oh, okay. Getting these camels don't do much to villagers with the chameleon statue. Okay, this wall will finally get smashed down. Yeah, I'd like to see. Well, you can't now, but I would have liked to have seen like a rock drop siege tower push. And oh, you don't want your camels to go forward all alone as we see Medium Prodromos come in. 38 vills to 53. Only pickaxe though. Matreiuss again kind of skipping the economy upgrades.
The 4 or 5 food villagers to the south there, right below the.
Okay, Eclipse to block the gold. He doesn't even know these are down here. He didn't need to use Eclipse here. He would have pushed him off anyway. Is Matreiuss really trying to age up? This would be how he loses, is if he tries to age up. I don't like that. Here comes Atalanta, but she got to be careful that she doesn't just come in and die. Oh, get your Petsuchos out. You don't want to lose the Petsuchos! No! Oh, man, that makes me scratch my head.
Yeah, I still don't get that Eclipse. Like, what was he trying to accomplish? He knocks him off that one gold mine, which I guess is going to slow Matreiuss down a bit.
He still got 900.
Oh. And Kimo should have known since he just locused that. So yeah, I don't.
We are seeing him going up. I don't think that's.
He doesn't have the army to follow up with it.
Yeah, you'll use Earthquake and kill this, but you're right. There won't be an army behind it. So what is he going to push behind that?
Meanwhile, he's taking a lot more eco damage than he. Because he doesn't have. He spent 2,000 resources advancing for just Earthquake.
He'll get Chimera.
That's the only play thing I can see.
Sphinx actually do. I mean, because myth units do well against myth units. The Sphinx is kind of like a soft counter to the.
Because in this map, because the outside you can't really wall off, and the gold's in predictable locations, so he's trying to smoke some vills, I'm guessing, but
yeah.
I feel like it's a risky strategy.
Kimo going up Horus.
This could.
Yeah, Matreiuss. This age up. I don't know why he wouldn't have just stayed in age 3, but we can see.
Yeah, it's the Chimera strat. Obviously, is what the plan was here.
With the way the game's gone, I'm a little bit surprised that Kimo's going up with Horus. To me, the obvious play that you're going to see right now.
He scouted the market, so he kind of should have known this.
You should assume that the Earthquake is coming, and then your mummies get so much value. As the Rock's gotta watch out. We got the Centaur and Hippolyta. There it goes.
I guess he wasn't expecting those units to be there.
I guess not. But Kimo's going to grab this town center. But yeah, here's the earthquake. I mean, it does a pretty decent amount of damage.
There's no military.
But
Nothing's even
right. He's not going to be
there.
able to
All right,
keep it down. He is sending the heroes, but Kimo could, if he wanted, just shift down to the bottom here and be perfectly fine. He's trying to rush up this Migdol. This could actually, with Kimo's army being way down here, the nice kind of double pressure from Matreiuss forced Kimo to over defend on the bottom, which is making this pretty scary because Kimo has no army here. And he grabbed this town center. Town center grab here, maybe not the best, but now we have a tornado that's going to basically be the same as the earthquake. You use it right here on the bottom right of the building because it goes to the top left. There we go. All right, kills a few villagers, will kill the town center. But Kimo did not notice this. He lost all of his villagers here and being only at one town center. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Now getting Skin of the Rhino, but this town center grab isn't going to help him out. The Avenger, though. The Avenger does some work. And Kimo's just going to go for the economy. This is a good play here, because Kimo knows...
It's a fun game. They're both catching each other out of position back and forth.
This is the only way Kimo can kind of respond here, because if he just defends...
I'd like to see him split off of something to the gold as well, because he knows where Matreiuss' gold is.
There's a ton of villagers just sitting out here. A market curse has been used. It actually did some pretty decent damage. But a handful of units were taken out there. And we've got 2 Avengers. Be so nice. Imagine if he saved Eclipse to block like the earthquake usage.
Or just Eclipse here when the game's chaotic and
right,
there are units everywhere that you can attack, and you've got
Eclipse Scarab or Eclipse Avengers.
He literally got 0 damage with his Eclipse, whereas if he Eclipsed here with the Avengers out, I mean, it would be game. Matreiuss' ecos all over the place, and Eclipse would just wreck everything.
Oh, watch out! Atalanta's here. Notice is just too late. But yeah, Eclipsed Avengers do so much damage as Kimo is now at 3 town centers. Matreiuss is struggling in economy right now. Like
Kimo's letting him get on that top gold despite taking that TC. I'm a little
we got a fortress too. Oh, watch out for your Avenger. Ciao. Come on, you gotta... No. 13 hit points. Does he get away? Oh, man. A little bit of the speed boost catching up to the... Oh,
like Matreiuss' eco is a bit more chaotic at the moment, but
yes,
he does have the military edge on the field, at least for the moment. But it's going to be hard to do anything because Kimo's got pretty good defense.
He's got to heal up this Avenger
Snipe
here.
It. Oh no, they're running instead of sniping it.
Yeah. If Kimo would not have lost like the 12 villagers he lost here instead of retreating, Kimo would be ahead in villager count right now. As it is, he lost all those villagers, so he's still behind, but he's at 3 town centers. Matreiuss is now just...
One of the things helping Kimo is he's had that solid food economy all game long, whereas Matreiuss' food eco... How many farms does he have at his secondary TC? I think he's just started
8.
Throwing those down,
9.
so his main TC farms have also been idle for
Kimo
a while.
needs irrigation. Because Sacred Cats does not do anything until irrigation gets researched. So he needs that irrigation out.
Kimo rating both golds, top and bottom. Check out top. What happened up there?
He just kind of ran past and forced some idle time.
Oh, wow. You see what's in that fortress?
There's Polyphemus and... Oh, here he comes, and there's nothing up here to defend. The villagers all... I think maybe Kimo's just kind of giving this up because he sent all of his villagers back. So that's the good little push here. But
another thing to note here, how valuable has that relic been all game with the amount of raiding and killing going on in this map? Imagine if Matreiuss didn't have that relic.
Imagine if Kimo had it. And his villagers would be unkillable. This Chimera here is single-handedly massacring this entire army. Well, bad fight.
A lot of resources, yeah.
And man, half the HP down for Polyphemus in exchange for a town center. And while we have another little Chimera here, I mean, the Sphinx does decent damage. But the Chimera will also do pretty decent damage to the Sphinx because myth units have bonus against myth units.
Good trade for Kimo, getting it.
What
Kimo trying to
grade?
take that TC, but was he
Okay, he
short
has
gold or
irrigation.
food or?
He's got the resources now, but now he's the one who's way under popped. And you gotta be scared. This could single-handedly kill 2 town centers. Your Polyphemus, and I guess it's not single-handedly if he's got a Helipolis here.
I like to see the Vils pulled
Yeah.
and focus the hero down. The Vils can defend this easily.
Yeah, you get the Helipolis first, and then attack and kill Polyphemus. But
If you don't notice, though,
it doesn't matter. He's distracted by all of this down here, all this nonsense going on the bottom. And you got the polar bear even joining in. And oh, he notices, but it's too late. Polyphemus is gone. Town center is gone. Not good. We've got a couple of these. The Avengers do so much work. So much work. Trying to get on the Pharaoh. Not Gunner.
who
Gun-
has the edge here? Like, quick, just random
Matreiuss does.
thought. Matreiuss?
Matreiuss, yeah. He's solidified his economy right now. He's ahead in villagers. Oh, this Chimera, though,
I think
is...
Kimo has the better eco ups, though, and is...
He does.
Yeah,
Matreiuss doesn't even have hand axe.
I vote Kimo.
No, I vote Matreiuss.
I think the chaotic game, the raw, with all his eco and empowerment and stuff, will settle in sooner.
I
Although
vote.
Matreiuss is trying to, or no. What did I just... Oh, that was Matreiuss taking his own 3rd TC back. I
Yes.
thought he was going up 4 TCs.
These
to do-
villagers.
Nope, that
Uh-oh.
was just his.
Oh, the Chimera. And see, as long as there's... I mean, the Avengers, if the Avengers come up here, they can help kill the Chimera, but Ra has a hard time killing the Avengers without myth units to defend. And we've got the Chariots down here. Chariots do absolutely smash Prodromos. Prodromos don't get an attack bonus against Chariots.
It's a lot of low chariots.
It
and-
is, and we saw a little bit of a
Okay.
flame broil there. Where did our Avengers go? Oh, there's one down here. Oh, there's one on this gold mine. Oh man, look at this damage though. If he came up here, oh, he knows. Oh, we got Theseus though, well positioned to defend. Gotta be careful. You don't want to lose your Avengers. He could come up here and do his whirly twirly and kill a few. Oh no, he won't. No, not on the hero. You can't. That's
My thoughts have shifted very quickly here as Matreiuss is
oh.
force fights on this main front, which Kimo doesn't have the army to kind of fight him head on at the moment.
Ah, I see how it is. Yeah, I mean, Kimo has economy. Oh man, double Chimera specials on the chariots. Look how many have gone down here.
I feel like Kimo needed spears. They're low gold, which there isn't a lot of gold on this map, and just the chariots have just been getting roasted by the chimeras. And
Yeah. Yeah, once you get kind of the heavy Hippicon, your chariots, the value of a... Oh, man. Man, I love the
This game
Chimera
turned
special.
very, very quickly.
I told you. I told you.
Despite Kimo having the better eco ups.
Yeah.
It's all because he lost that TC for nothing, though. Like,
Yeah, this
if
should
he
have been
had
stayed
the
up.
TC to help defend, I feel, and the pop from the TC as well, although
Mhm.
he's at 100 pop, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. See, now he's getting greatest of 50 and medium spearman. Kimo is, but he doesn't really have the... Camel's having a seizure there. But Kimo doesn't really have the economy to afford villagers and spearmen currently. And
Not going as Cyrus, also kind of backfiring a bit.
yeah,
Rod
The
just about
Avengers-
doesn't have a great way to deal with the spam.
yeah. The Avengers are nice, but you do kind of miss that one hit KO from your from your mummies. Otherwise, once the Avengers die, it's harder for the Egyptian to replace them than it is for a Greek to get more Chimera out. And like these Chimera will just absolutely just destroy all of these. Like to see another special attack here. I mean, the chariots have high hit points, so they'll live for a while, but man, it just tank damage for so long with your 60% pierce armor. I mean, and yeah, Kimo is, there's no aggression from Kimo anywhere, and we're at 4-2 town centers. We've got a big push on the base here. We've got Polyphemus with no armory upgrades. Kimo with a couple armory upgrades. The Polyphemus turns to kill the Pharaoh. Here comes some spears in.
Kimo down at 1 TC. His bottom TC was under siege as well.
Oh, wow. Oh, with the Hetairoi. Yeah, I like the Hetairoi. This game is over. And you thought Kimo was going to win.
I swear, I think if he switched to the one, if he protected his top TC instead of just letting it die for nothing, and 2, if he had switched to spears sooner, I think he would have been in a much better place.
Yeah, the spears. I mean, the spears kill the Helipolis, and they also kill the Cav. But Kimo probably felt like he just didn't have the economy for it because he's having to replace all of his villagers that died. And we got now this last push in on Kimo's base. I mean, the score is closer than what you'd think it would be, but the game isn't super close. Tyroi though they don't last super long against all these chariots, and that doesn't matter as we see GG. So Matreiuss with the win. He goes to 3 wins, right? 3-2.
Yep, 3-2.
3-2. So Kimo is now with his back up against the wall after losing game number 5. Really fun game. I like Frozen Waste. Frozen Waste is one of my favorite maps. It's just tends to result in some pretty hectic games. I'm bad at it because I can't multitask, but it's fun. Take a look at the post game. Kill loss ratio was pretty even. Economy line. Let's take a look at economy. Kimo actually pretty close economically here, despite being down vill counts. But it was this big raid. Like, if Kimo doesn't lose, well, he lost 15 villagers at that gold mine. He does not lose these 15 villagers. He gets ahead here, basically. Maybe here.
And he didn't need to lose them. It's not like the pressure was right there after the earthquake ended to run right in to kill him. It was just a couple heroes slowly marching their way across the map that ended up doing most of that damage.
But it was a good play by Matreiuss, because what he did is he showed his entire army down here, all of his cavalry, which forced Kimo to come all the way down, thinking the attack was coming up here. And then Kimo just switched, and the cav ran up here along with all the heroes, and then Kimo got caught out. But that is it. GG for that one. GG, says Banner Chess and Sir Ivan, as we move to game number 6. So if Matreiuss wins game 6, the series is over. If Kimo wins, we go to a game 7. And we are on Anatolia. Kimo with Ra. Matreiuss is Poseidon. We're seeing a lot of repeat matches from the losers finals, or the winners finals, I mean, because we saw this Anatolia map picked by Kimo back then, and he got rocked.
What civ did Kimo play that game though?
Isis.
So he's going Ra this time, and as we recall, the reason is Isis got punished so much is because he messed up and didn't get a dock up that he should have.
So, I mean, Kimo, he's a Ra player by trade. I don't, other than these tournament games, I haven't seen a whole lot of high level competitive games that he's played as Isis. So he's definitely better as Ra, and it fits his play style better. Because Kimo's kind of renowned for his defending, and then all of a sudden, he's ahead. So the Ra plays much better into that than the Isis. But what do you do here as the Ra, RyFang? What do you think is like this? What do you have to be scared of as your Ra here, playing a Poseidon?
I think losing water side quickly is the worst case scenario, and how kind of a better player would beat up on a worse player. But the way you counter that obviously is get your docks up safe and securely, which is where Kimo faltered in the first time around in this matchup.
Really nice forward town center placement for Kimo. It's pretty close, so it'd be pretty hard for Matreiuss to really take. The closest gold mine is right in the middle of the map for Kimo. And
Looks
then the
like
other one's way
Kimo's
over
got a
here.
pretty good trade route in terms of two wood lines kind of
Yeah,
blocking off his top side or protecting his trade there. So
a little bit of a wall here, and he could like
only
wall
thing is
here.
Kimo's secondary gold is not really
No, it's not
very
super good. You'd almost expect the Ra here to stay in the base. I mean, the 2 gold mines is enough to reach Mythic Age and start a trade route. So you don't really need to press out and get this gold mine. It kind of depends on how the water goes.
I feel like Matreiuss, he's really good about walling, so plus he's Greek and he'll scout it, but I bet he'll wall off Kimo's left side secondary gold, so then
Yes.
the only secondary gold Kimo has would then be in the middle of the 2 CCs,
Yeah.
which is going to be a war zone.
Now, last game on this matchup, Kimo lost the top side of the water super easily because he lost his villager in a Vil fight against the scout and the enemy villager. So do we see that here again? We've got the scout.
Matreiuss is going to try to use his scout, obviously, but now it's going to be what does Kimo do to counter it?
Yeah.
So far, I don't think we're seeing Kimo do anything that'll prevent it.
He might retreat.
You can tell Matreiuss was literally plotting his strategy, like, to do this.
It's the same thing, because he's going to run this villager up, and she's going to attack this villager, and it's going to be the same thing that... Oh! See, why not? Last time he did this. Last time he attacked.
Kimo hasn't even started building his second dock, so Matreiuss can get his second dock up.
And then attack.
I'd
okay.
Chipping away with the scout a bit more. I'm a little surprised he's backing off, maybe because he's busy doing other actions.
Yeah, no, I'm with you now. Now that you brought that point up, I agree. You get your second dock up first if you can, and then get down to the villager. But Kimo's running backwards. Now this is different. Last time Kimo went forward.
Smart.
What he can also do.
Did Matreiuss finish his dock, or is he pulling him?
Nope, he finished.
Yeah, finished him.
Oh, he doesn't know where the
Kimo
doesn't know where the villager went. What you can do though, and a lot of players don't do this, is just build the dock here and then just put like a wall from here over to the shoreline, and then the villager is safe. So it's kind of the same general play here that Matreiuss is doing. He just this time didn't catch this villager, and Kimo actually sent out a second one. So Kimo, he probably remembers the spanking that he got the first time. So he's playing this slightly differently.
I'd like to see Kimo pull both Vils to deny this third dock. Kimo can still build his own docks with his fishing ships, but I think denying this dock of Matreiuss is fairly important.
He might. She's probably just going to finish the dock and maybe die. It's close. Oh, she's going to get it. Just barely.
Oh my god.
Just barely.
1 second.
Man. That's pretty big.
Kimo's got to rush to get that dock up now, because that Matreiuss is, immediately queued. Oh wow, that's going to pop right out.
He'll get it. You run.
But he's got to micro his Vils.
Get out.
You don't want to lose 2 Vils.
Get out. Oh, the scout. Oh, man. The scout with the whack attack right there. And the fishing ship should finish this off. A little bit of an Alt-S to keep him on stand ground. Get him in there, get him in there, get him in there, get him there. Garrison, you finished the... Get him... Okay. Whew. And yes, Calamity, happy Christmas to you. And the children were happy.
Eventful for
Thank
6
you.
minutes to dock building.
What do we got on the bottom? We focused all this on the top. And what we got on the bottom is just 3 docks. And 2 docks. And Kimo building cabinets in the docks. And Matreiuss so far does not know they're in there. And on the bottom, it's like it's like this half of the civilization is like cut off from all communication, and they don't realize that the two nations are at war. So like up here, you got this big all-out war between the 2 nations. Down at the bottom, everybody's still friends.
Matreiuss is going really hard on this top water.
Yeah, he is. Kimo should keep those cabinets in for just a little bit longer. Matreiuss probably stopping now. Yes, he is. Matreiuss got a lot of resources banked up to eco upgrades and axe pickaxe and axe. No purse sign. No purse sign. All right, here comes the cabinets to pop out. Oh, he could have. Okay, 10 to 8. So Matreiuss has to sit defensive or make a few more boats now. Kimo's making more boats. Kimo needs to win this pretty quickly. The range, though, the Greek range bonus is really big on Anatolia because your boats tend to whack up against each other and can't get in range. So Kimo made more boats than Matreiuss, but really can't push because of it. And now we see a little bit of a fight on the bottom. And Matreiuss probably be looking to age up here soon. He's got just to get a little bit more gold. I'd say now he should cancel boats so he can age up. All right, I think if you're Matreiuss, do you age up with Dionysus?
I think you do. I think the Scala can tilt one of the sides of water. Yeah, especially to the bottom side, because Kimo hasn't really invested in anything into the bottom side yet, so that Scala could easily tilt things.
Yeah, because you get your free skill that come out from this side, because that's where the dock was built first.
The hip upgrade on this map also isn't terrible.
Yeah, to get all that extra hit points. Osa, nope, no second line upgrades, and now Kimo has the resources. There we go. Dionysus seeing some skilla. Kimo, what do we got here? 11 boats to 10, and a little bit out of position here for Matreiuss. Kimo again, like, you could have gotten probably another volley off. I like to see if, though, Matreiuss have gotten some favor to build a second Skilla so that he could have one on each side. And now we've got Kimo on the bottom. Nicely done pulling that boat back. Really well done. It's also avoiding the dock fire too. And now Kimo can actually make all of these fish go idle. Overall, it's pretty even.
Kimo's still not advanced though.
No, I mean the raw wood.
That's a little concerning.
It's not abnormal though, because you're actually the ships cost more because the Egyptian economy is slightly worse. So 150 resources for the Egyptian is costing a little bit more than it is for the Greek. But here comes the Skilla, and you got to pay attention here because this Skilla could down all. Okay, he notices.
Good
Not too
reaction
bad.
time. Very good reaction.
But we got some boats to pick off.
Those are
I
all
like
low.
this. I like what you
No,
gotta shoot. No, good plan, but nothing.
Not a single arrow fire.
Yep. Again, they were at peace. But he pooped out a lot over here. They just.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
If I'm Kimo, I'm done with water.
You maybe do give up on this side.
That's an insane commitment.
Yeah, that's a lot of boats here.
That means he's not making like stables or military production on land at this point if he's that heavy. Okay, Kimo doing the smart thing and overcommitting to bottom.
Right, because even though you get the free Skilla, I mean, the Skilla by himself doesn't do a lot. A lot of low hit point boats, but yeah, this is the right play. What Kimo's doing is once you see this many, you might as well just forget about it. You see the Hydra down here.
Yep, Kimo being smart, pushing out and taking that gold, realizing that Matreiuss overcommitted to water, so he's not going to have the land pressure. Wait, doesn't he have a go to Kimo or Kimo's base?
Kimo's where?
Yeah.
The barracks.
Okay, yeah, those vills are going to push out and get a Miggle
Get
down.
the Migdol up here, yeah. And got a few annoying wolves there. And the Hydra coming in will help kill the dock pretty quickly. But Kimo is pushing up on the top up here.
I like Kimo's position here because Matreiuss is seizing the land control to the raw player because he's so focused on winning the water sides, which ultimately aren't going to be that important. Especially if Kimo can get control of Matreiuss' third TC, I think that'll just be GG because Matreiuss won't be able to get a second.
This is a nice locust here. That was good. Got 5 villagers killed, a lot of idle time. The Sphinx will give up his life. Man, though, actually, the prize was this wood line, though. But he didn't quite see it. But still, 5 villagers killed. That's decent. Matreiuss is going for
the only
another...
thing, though, is that gold mine was mined out too, so those vills would have been going idle for a bit anyway.
I look at two of them are just 1 tick away. Oof, we got chariots though.
The land control is the issue.
This is scary if you're Matreiuss. He's going to go up, I would assume, with Artemis. But he's got 2,000 gold left in that. You'll have an earthquake. But yeah, this push here, like,
I don't like this strat. He doesn't have access to secondary gold, and that's another 1,000 gold that he's putting. He already massively overcommitted to water on the top, and now
he's putting 2,000 more.
Dumping another 1,000 gold into going mythic, and
especially
if Kimo wisely takes his third TC, then you have 2. You're not going to get the TC and the mid goal like you did last game.
Right.
If Kimo wisely takes that third TC.
Kimo could like get all over this wood line too.
Does Kimo see the market?
He just did. He just saw it. We have Artemis 43%. Yeah, Kimo here just full on, all out. Here come a Pegasus from flying in. I mean, you Earthquake here, you don't... It's not a lot of value, really. You're not preventing any food income. The only building that's, like, cost resources, really, is your town center. Like, the houses are free. I mean, yeah, you'll have to rebuild them. But, this it's coming in a little too soon.
What's going on? Bot side water to keep Kimo clear up bottom water.
Yes. Yeah. We've got a few boats here. Ooh. Again, like Matreiuss is pumping.
That's another 150 gold that he can't put towards land as he's about to get gold starve in his base.
Right. Yeah. And these units are kind of coming on the wood line here. Do we have crenellations? We don't. I guess the Chimera will be able to defend this. We have it? We have? Nice! The rain to block the earthquake. So that's really nice. We also have... You almost do Eclipse right after the rain.
Would take his... What is Kimo floating for gold? Yeah, he's got... I'd like to see Kimo take Matreiuss' third TC because it overshadows that gold and basically makes that a point that Matreiuss has to Earthquake.
Lost all these units here, though.
Especially with Matreiuss having Ceasefire as well. If Matreiuss can use Ceasefire to take that TC and secure a gold, he's going to get back in the game a lot easier.
Not quite focusing on all these. If all these boats were shooting at the unit here, he'd win. Oh, okay, we got a hammer ship coming in. Yeah, I don't know why Matreiuss is putting this much resources into... How much gold does he have left? 800. And he's trying to grab a town center? He's trying to grab 2.
He's going to seize.
I don't think he has to. You could almost see a Eclipse here, but there's no units to use it. Okay, so we do see the Eclipse. Would have loved to have seen a couple like Sphinx along with this Eclipse. I mean, the Petsuchos is dead. Okay, kill the villager down there. This town center will likely get up because we've got 2 Chimera here. Yeah, Matreiuss, though, even if he gets all these town centers, how is he... He's almost out of gold.
This is why I wanted Kimo to take that TC for himself, because Matreiuss would have had no way to siege the TC other than to force
Right.
Earthquake. You would have first forced Earthquake on that position.
Yeah, because then it would have protected this gold mine.
Exactly. Instead, Kimo grabbed the useless TC.
Mm-hmm. Building a bunch of buildings. He's also getting his eco upgrade, or his building upgrades too, to block that. And now the water is run. Kimo should, okay, it looks like he's going to do that, is go up here and get all these fishing spots as well. Now, if you're Matreiuss, where do you use Earthquake?
Still think you possibly use it on that front gold to knock Kimo off it, especially if you can get some chariot archers in the fire as well.
Yeah, I would.
Then you can just, what's Kimo building on his secondary gold?
A Migdal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then you could knock him off that and then go roast the other gold.
Oh,
I like that.
I don't.
Shuts down his production for the moment as well.
It would have killed all of this. But he's got a Migdal up here anyway.
You send the Chimeras there. Where are they?
Well, they're not.
Well, that's the problem, not the Earthquake.
Yeah, you could send your double Chimera up there and get a nice little double special. He's trying to build a dock. Oh, here he's villager building first. Kimo's getting a pretty decent trade route going too, as well. He's also getting Skin of the Rhino, which will help against Chimera raids.
Still, I'm harping on it, but if Kimo had just taken Matreiuss' third TC, I think it would have just won him the game.
It would have been better than grabbing this one. I'm with you. I'm with you. Matreiuss at 3 town centers. Kimo at 3. Villager count. Kimo is ahead by a decent amount. Ooh, nice special. Oof. Once they use their special, it doesn't matter how far away you run. The splash damage is based on where the target unit is, so it doesn't matter if they run a long ways away. Nice special there for chariots down and a lot of low hit point ones. There still is the gold in the base too for Kimo. Well, I guess they're only 250, so there's no more gold in the base for Kimo. Hey, his Pharaoh is Kilty. Kimo's Pharaoh is Kilty. That's nice. But Kilty is now destroyed. And we've got a lot of priests here to try to get on these chimeras. Not a lot of cavalry. Now we do. Kimo is staying in heroic for a while. I don't mind that.
I like that he's getting the trade up. I think the way he wins this is through the Merc spam.
Skin of the Rhino,
and
save
especially with
these
the
villagers.
harass on his eco, getting the early trade out, kind of counteracts the eco damage done by the Chimeras.
Oh, nice. This wall here is ruining Matreiuss's kind of attempt here. Does Matt know the side gold? He might not. Oh, there's just one priest here. Let's take a look at this fight. This is a pretty good fight for Matreiuss, I think.
I disagree. Too many units from Kimo.
The spearmen. I guess you're right. There's a lot of spearmen, and the priest is not dying. So, all right, this is a good fight for Kimo, like I said. And we've got a attempt of a wall here. Well, he does now, but he did not until then. So he just now found out about he had it scouted. Like, he knew it was there, but he didn't know the villagers were there. And, like, now the almost dead Chimera, oh, there's going to be... all of them are. We had this Chimera go down, and these two almost go down. And Chimera are expensive, and that's just going to be a GG just like that. A little bit early. Oh, he missed the top. This is why.
I mean, that's partly why, but the other part is he just invested so much resources into water and jumping ages all game that he didn't tech into his.
He had
and land.
He had nothing. He had medium hippocons. But this is big though, losing the water on the top, which I didn't even notice. Is right now Matreiuss has no resource income.
I mean, look at post game eco. I think he was just massively behind well before that.
No, he was ahead, but it's a lot of resources getting put into stuff that didn't matter. A lot of ships that just basically wasted resources. And so that was a little bit of a surprise. Missed a little bit on the top there. But it's good for us because you know what this means?
Game 7.
Game 7, baby. Oh, man, all the way, the whole distance, as far as we can go. Kimo with a nice kill-death ratio. The Spearman edition helped out a decent amount there.
I wonder if Matreiuss even deleted all his ships that he had built.
I bet he did. I bet he did. Are RyFang and RyFang bros? No, is this going to lead into some weird joke? Pack 21, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Not a lot of eco upgrades. But all right, game 7. Let's just get right into it. Game number 7, as far as we can go. The last ditch effort for both players. Game 7. I don't like the fast mythic earthquake regardless. It's low value here because you're not hitting much. I don't like it.
The way to do it is you commit to land, you get hips and something that'll control and completely knock Kimo off the gold and seize the map control, and then use it to kind of nuke half his army HP and kill the mid goal. But he invested so much into water though, it's just he had nothing to follow up the earthquake because he went so hard in water all game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a little too much.
Even when he had lost bot and was like running out of gold in his base, he was still dumping hundreds of gold into just a few random ships to further fight water.
No, you're right. You're right. Hold on.
I don't mind the early like going hard water to try to get like a clean win. I mean, it's an unfavorable map/matchup for Poseidon to begin with, hence why Kimo picked it. But once it kind of didn't win him the game early, I think you've got to switch your focus to land much sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, it was well played though by Kimo.
Yeah, like I said, Matreiuss went hard on water, and Kimo didn't really get punished like he did the first time around, so he did a very good job of that.
All right, well, let's get into the final game here. All right, let's do this.
Even just a lot of little things like the fishing ship micro
popping
in and out and not losing him.
Oh, what map is this? A Blue Lagoon. Nice. This is a good map to see the final game decided on. So here we are, guys. Game number 7. The final matchup in this tournament. The Metaplays Forge of Olympus tournament. Got Kimo is Ra on the bottom blue. Matreiuss is Poseidon, the top, and he's red. Lure coming down. And this is going to be fun. I love this map. This is another map I really enjoy.
My first thought, kind of just going back 2 games, the first way, this just is not a standard map. Like, I'm trying to think, like, your ideal way to play it, and it's just nothing. The golds aren't, like, standard or in comfortable positions.
Ooh.
The hunt isn't in standard or comfortable positions, so...
Look at this. Man, if I'm Kimo, if I'm Kimo and I scout this, I'm really tempted to do 2 town center Bast. Really tempted. Is this elephant getting lured? No, he's just walking up to the top of the cliff. What kind of relics we got? Head of Orpheus plus 8 building line of sight, and the Pharaoh has plus 5% archer pierce damage. That'll be good for all the chariots. As our Pharaoh is Soup, the 7th.
What was the other relic?
Orpheus. The head of Orpheus buildings get more line of sight.
Okay, not that strong.
Gold mines to take a look at. Matreiuss' second gold mine here is pretty decent. Town centers really don't protect much, but oh wow, this is a really nice town center for Matreiuss too. The double elephant spawn sitting right next to it. So you have decisions to be made here. If your Kimo is, what do? Ptah or Bast?
I'd like just if I'm Kimo, I'd like to see him just play the standard 2 TC game. Like that's what he's good at. I feel like if he
Yeah.
tries to get cheeky and kind of innovate on the fly, I think he's gonna find himself in trouble because Matreiuss just plays Poseidon so much that I don't think Matreiuss is gonna get thrown off his game as much as Kimo potentially would.
Yeah, you could try. If you're Kimo, you could try playing this the same way as you played Frozen Waste. And he had chances to win that. But with the more hunt on this map, it benefits. I mean, I don't know. You can kind of play this game similarly on as far as your build. This is an early build for Kimo.
Hopefully early 2 TC.
I think he's going to go aggressive. You're not doing this to grab a town center. You're doing this to go aggressive.
How do you go aggressive against Poseidon though here?
It's hard. I mean, if you were to go up with Anubis, maybe you could do it. But
2 TC. What did Kimo scout? That might help us predict things better.
Oh, he scouted the bottom, it looks like. Yep.
Okay, he scouted the TC with the elephants. It's definitely a 2 TC.
Yeah, so he's going to do a 2 TC with a very delayed rain. I mean, not delayed, but it's going to be... He's going to value getting more villagers out early instead of going for a very standard and quick rain with the 2-town center. So you'll probably age up a little bit slower than normal, like maybe almost a 9-minute. But he'll have more villagers. So it's a little bit less aggressive initially, but it'll result in a better economy. And gotta get those villagers.
I wonder if we're gonna see
way.
land pressure from Matreiuss, although that could change if he sees the TC. That gold was a teeny bit vulnerable to Tox pressure, and then Kimo's second gold could also be denied by early Tox hit pressure, but
Kimo could almost too. Maybe try to age up without using rain. With all of this hunt sitting right here. And Matreiuss is definitely getting his town center as well. Yeah, very fast age up. To get the second town center up. Yeah, Kimo has not gathered any wood. That tells me he's going to try to age up just based on elephants and the lions that are here. And Kimo has now grabbed his town center. Here he is with getting on the lion. We've got the Wadget to help out. No, villager. I'm going to get this elephant to die. Nice spot for the elephant. And I think he's going to try to pull in the other elephant too, yeah, before shenanigans happen. This elephant has been kind of stupid.
Oh, he's worried about the lure.
Well, the lure won't do anything now. It was more this elephant kept running up on top of the cliff. Uh-oh. Run. There he goes. All right, so double elephants. Getting a monument to village. Very slow monument to villagers. So, yeah, he's just going to try to age up just purely based on hunt. Well, no. No, he's not. He's going to switch over to... He forgot his monument. This is the problem. He switches over to wood to get Shadoof.
Monument or just went so fast 2 TC that the
No, he forgot. You can age up. You can get this age up time with a monument. So he forgot it. And now he's realizing, because now he's switching over to wood. And he's like, I'm going to get Shadoof soon. And then he looks at his favor count and sees 0. We see. It's going to be similar to that Oasis game where Matreiuss is going to build forward he's going to force Kimo to 1 gold mine. So he's going to wall this off.
Yeah. Are we going to see the Tox? Do we see an early archer range or is it too early?
Stable.
Early stable.
Matreiuss grabbed...
Yeah, no, if he walls off the top gold and then puts his military to the bottom, he's going to force Kimo to build a mid gold that's doesn't provide complete coverage for that gold.
He's empowering the monument to get more favor. To get that Shadoof in a little bit faster. Yeah, he definitely forgot that he didn't have it. Is Matreiuss gonna grab another town center? No. He almost kind of grabbed the wrong one. Because this just has a rhino and a gazelle. Whereas this one has all of the hunt with the two elephants there. And a lot of units that just kind of sitting around. No, almost got enough favor now. He forgot his monument. Goes to show ya, even the top players have some flaws. Yeah, but this is going to be a very slow advance for Kimo. He's also... Does he have plow yet? Does he have husbandry? Yeah, he does. So he's overgathering on wood, too.
The empowering is gold. Did he build like an extra priest? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you always should build an extra priest. Look at all these... So, Matreiuss got quite a few units, but there's kind of nothing that they can do right now. He's probably not anticipating this slower age up. Yeah, don't lose the Wadjet. Nice timing though. I mean, in the end, Shadoof will be coming out here soon. Yeah, he's got it researched, so it should almost be in. I think it is in. And now comes a little bit of pressure. The Wadjet! No, she stopped. Oh, the Wadjet goes down. I don't know if he really wants to be building farms on the front of this town center, though. Well, Hippolyta's running away. And now we've got all the farms getting placed by Kimo, who almost was able to age up without raining. And here's the rain. Matreiuss could have afforded to grab a third town center here. But he's going for the Migdol Gold Starve.
That Wadjet pick is huge because it helps defend when you're trying to get that mid goal up so much. Although I guess he's gonna just have to build a safe mid goal and trade for some extra gold.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I mean, he is going up Hathor, so the free rock, you can just dump your villagers right over the wall if you really wanted to. And all this walling, this is good too, to prevent all of the harass from the Migdol units, because Matreiuss is going to want to be able to mine gold without getting raided. We got all these elephants down here, so Matreiuss still has quite a bit of... It'll still be a while before Matreiuss has to get into farming himself. He's got all these pigs, he's got all the berries, he's still got hunt up here, and he's got hunt down there.
Look at the map control for Matreiuss.
Yeah, he's all over. But the downside is to this, if you lose map control just at one spot, you know, if one gold mine gets taken, the rest of the map control at this stage of the game is a little bit pointless.
Quite a bit of gold and stuff into this early pressure and all the walls.
All right, so the Hippocon are all over here. Matreiuss, okay, Kimo is building a market. Pressure on the town center. We don't have... Do we have Skin of the Rhino? We do, so that's really helpful in this situation. The Pharaoh comes out, gets on the... Now get him back in, get him back in, get him... No, no, oh, oh. Barely.
Oh no, don't put it back
Not
out.
that side. Not that side. Villager fight. This is a good fight for Kimo. Matreiuss is losing a lot of units.
These are the units that deny the gold. If all the units die, then that gold's just going to be easy to take back.
He's just going to build his Migdol right here, though. We got more Hippocon coming in. You could almost wall this off.
I actually like this.
Where's the crocodile? Okay, the croc is getting flown in. We got an airlift coming in with the croc. Okay, we had a handful of villagers now die because they are all ended up having low hit points. But once the Toxotes get killed, it should be pretty easy to pick off all these units here if you're Kimo, and he does. And this isn't...
don't hate this for Kimo.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I like this if I'm Kimo. This makes me happy if I'm the Kimo fan. And the crocodile again. We got a handful of units here that just getting thrown away. And Kimo's kill-death ratio at this point in the game is looking impressive. We do have Matreiuss on the third town center now.
Kimo is also down 16 vills.
He is, you're right. But Kimo should have an opportunity here to watch out for your rock. But Kimo should have an opportunity to get some raids in because he killed so many units of Matreiuss's. But man, these forward walls here. I don't know why he panic dropped this crocodile. I mean, it does take forever for the... Yeah, pick this thing up. You don't want to lose it. Heal it up. Heal it up. Oh, you're running the wrong way. All right. Mix it up. Got some units over here. Matreiuss funneling.
Matreiuss strong, yeah.
Yeah. Lost a Hippocon. Lose 2 Hippocon for absolutely nothing.
The hero, where's the rock? Okay, rock is
coming over here. There's nothing to hit as far as a locust right here. Where is the hero? Where's Hippolyta?
It's by the TC, Kimo's 3rd TC.
Oh, she's a little bit behind. And now this Migdol will come up. Especially if he doesn't target the Pharaoh.
Oh, well, he did kill the
now
Pharaoh.
He didn't notice. Yep, Soup 7th, the 2nd. And the villager trying to finish off the Pharaoh. Oh, does she? Oh, man! She gets him! Wow, that might be really bad for Kimo.
Kimo's got units coming.
Nah, this Migdol goes down. Oh, Locust. Oh, there's so many low hit point. Only 2 go down. And Villager's going down. I mean, this is still... Kimo can... Matreiuss can pressure this for a little bit yet. But it took so long for the Migdol to come up. The Toxotes underneath the Migdol. And the Crocodile is dead. The Rock is dead. I mean, if you're Matreiuss, though, you're happy. Losing 2 villagers to a Locust. Just ecstatic.
Kimo's going Mythic. That's why he doesn't have the army here.
Ah, Mythic Age. Kimo needs to wall this off right here. And Matreiuss has to fall back.
Both players have a lot going for them, so this is going to be quite the ending.
Yeah, this game's pretty even right now.
Kill count and kind of his eco going untouched, but at the same time, Kimo's about to get the Son of Osiris out, and those 2 TCs, the forward TCs of both players,
are very close.
Fairly close together. So yeah, when the Son of Osiris push and the Egyptian Mythic range siege come into play,
Matreiuss should grab this town center.
You asked for the wall, and you're gonna get what, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, Kimo gets his walling in. Kind of eco upgrades. The Oasis game. Oh man, again, this is what killed Matreiuss in the Oasis game is a lack of economy upgrades.
Well,
and
the wall, the 6 layers of the wall, the early pressure to deny that gold. That's where Matreiuss's resources went to instead of the eco upgrades.
Well, I mean, but look at Matreiuss is floating. He's got the resources to get these eco upgrades. He's just not. And I like what Kimo's doing here. He's kind of assuming he's not going to get this town center. So he's building a siege workshop already. He doesn't quite have the army to prevent this. Here comes the mummy, though. And we do have Heavy Hippocon. Heavy Hippocon will be able to hold this. And we've got the mummy. The mummy, actually the insta...
Gets surrounded here.
Oh, nice curse. Oh, Pharaoh, the Son of Osiris, I don't know if he really wants to come out like this right now. Oh, there's a lot of low hit point. Oh,
okay, good.
Okay, yeah, that helps out there.
All right, this fight just shifted.
Yes, it did.
Quickly, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, now Matreiuss is throwing away his whole army just like that. And now he's got to run. The mummy might be able to get... Yep, mummy gets his special on the Nemean Lion. And now Matreiuss is grabbing this town center, but with a couple decent walls here. Kimo can probably wall right here and siege it down. And a few chariots.
I almost feel like that's good for Kimo because it's going to force Matreiuss to want to defend it.
Matreiuss has ceasefire. And he's going to be pushing up to Mythic soon. But again... Okay, he's getting eco upgrades now. He needs plow. Okay, he's getting plow. And he's got enough. Okay, Hephaestus. That's the proper play here when you're up 4-2 TCs. You want Hephaestus because then you get better economy and once your armory, if you're up at full pop, 180, 180.
Uh-oh, Kimo, don't get
Kimo.
surrounded.
No, oh man, he just did. Oh man, son of Osiris completely and utterly surrounded here. But I don't know if there's enough units and a shift. I don't even know if he really needed to do that.
That shouldn't have happened. He just lost half his Son of Osiris's HP. Now he's losing his early catapult. And
Yeah. He had an opportunity to put a wall up here too, and he didn't. Or even like the safer play would have been.
He's got chariots raiding. I don't know. I almost feel like he should have just had all his army there, like ready to push.
He's just kind of chariot versus town center. Who wins? Siege work. Oh, I like this though. This is good.
Classic Chrono Jojo type play.
Yeah, Kimo's learned from the best. The wall. The wall is more important than the tower here. You wall this first.
Son of Osiris.
Where's he going? Oh, so risky. Okay, nice movement pathing here from Kimo to get his units to go to the front to save the Osiris. But still, I don't know. Do we have crenellations? We do. So that will save this. I don't know if Matreiuss wants to fight this.
Yeah, this is good for Kimo.
Yeah.
Matreiuss is losing a lot of units and health, and
we'll probably see a ceasefire here soon. We do have fortified town center just came in. Kimo's got a nice trade route coming up though. He needs to get a priest over there on it. And we got the tower push.
Like you said, I like the walls. The sooner that TC goes down, the better for your.
Yeah,
if Kimo
well,
evens up the TCs.
Spearman.
I like Kimo. If you still got ceasefire too.
Yeah, I imagine you have to. You're gonna have to see ceasefire because you got Forge of Olympus. As soon as if he can get this catapult, he doesn't have to use ceasefire yet.
Yeah, wall should be there, like you said.
So he's going to get one. I mean, here comes another one, but he's gonna get one down, and he might be able to repair. Yeah, he might still have to use it. Yeah, okay. So here comes the ceasefire. Oh, he deleted it. Oh, he's deleting it because it repairs slower than it does building. So that's on purpose. Really well done. Because the repair rate is super slow, but you build it faster than you repair it.
I'd like to see Kimo do a full wall to the bottom TC there too, and get the medium wall upgrade.
Yeah, the medium wall upgrade is good. He needs to get his wood upgrades too. Otherwise, his upgrades are looking pretty solid. Okay, Matreiuss is getting his eco upgrades. That's what he kind of missed the last game. Should start getting a market, though, up here. We can see, just look at all these technologies coming in for Matreiuss. We got copper weapons, we got copper mail, we got copper shields, carpenters, flood control. Only at 120 pop right now, though. And now we're getting the upgrade for more Hetairoi damage and the Pierce armor. We might see some side Hetairoi pushes down on the bottom. But we do have Masons and Sun-Dried Mud Brick, which you don't see a lot of value out of the Hetairoi against all of that. And your value is, if you're Matreiuss, is to come down here. If you're able to.
I did Kimo fortify that position.
Where? Here? Okay,
yeah.
He's got a couple walls in. So that's okay. Matreiuss can afford to lose the town center as long as Kimo can't build it. So, and that's I like this side
should have
push
dropped
here.
More walls. How do you triple wall the top there and then leave that giant gap in the middle?
Well, like this. He's trying to get a tower up here.
There's a lot of just unnecessary eco damage that Kimo's taking.
Yeah. Yep, he's got that Tyroi in on the Migdal. He's got the Hippocon over here. I don't know if this tower even gets finished. It's close. If the... Yeah, that's not going to. That's big. Now the town center's down. But... we could get some damage in on the...
Miggle.
We could get some damage on Osiris here. He's a little bit out of position. Uh-oh. Oh, you don't want to go too far forward here if you're Matreiuss, though, because these towers will absolutely demolish your cav. And we did see this side build get noticed. And the MiG will go down, but... we've got a ton of mercenary. This is a lot of mercenary force. I mean, that's a lot of resources. But if he loses Helipolis, they kind of pay for themselves. And I would like to see Polyphemus out to kind of tank all of this. What kind of tower upgrades? Just the first, not the second yet. Cyrus almost dead. Villagers getting killed. Catapult's a little too far forward. Oh, I don't know.
Losing 1 or 2 catapults isn't the end of the world.
He did get this fortress down.
That Son of Osiris is getting chipped away. Okay, the Tox died.
Yeah. I don't know what Kimo's doing right here, though, kind of. Oh, he pushed through. I guess he wants to get the catapults. The nice thing about your militia here is that... Oh, he just got in. Here comes the mummy. Okay, militia tank. Militia don't, you know, they live a while
to the
here.
left a little. What's Kimo's army doing? They cleaned up the gold. Yeah, he's got a lot of pop just
sitting around, killing a stable. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like with that army, he could be kind of starting to secure that TC.
Okay, so Matreiuss has all of his eco upgrades, but no trade route yet. Here it is. Why build at the edge of the map?
Did Kimo's bought gold mine run out? Or are they still on it? Go up slightly. They're still on it. But Kimo doesn't have a third gold mine. Something to
he doesn't need it though. He's got. You know, he needs to empower this. So Matreiuss, I like the Hetairoi, but not in this situation. Not once you get upgraded towers. The Hetairoi, their purpose here is there's not much of one. They do tank damage from the towers pretty decent, so I guess they can run in and kill the catapults. So that's not too bad, but I'd like to see...
Kimo only had 110 pop?
Yeah, but Kimo has all the building upgrades. Yes, Kimo's at 103 pop. Are Kimo's armory upgrades? Not super good. Matreiuss has them all.
A little concerned for Kimo, because yeah, if he's playing down a TC and not really ahead on eco per se, it's not a good place to be in.
Well, he's got the upgraded ballista tower, but man, I would. Oh man, 24 hit points left. Wow.
Because he'd be completely safe otherwise. Okay, Son of Osiris. Wisely save the Son of Osiris on low HP.
He's three hit points. 3 hit points to empower. That's all you need.
There? Siege works to the top of his trade.
Yep, he's gonna come in up here. This is a good, nice proxy siege works. I would have liked to seen Matreiuss get a few units down here and on like the economy, a few Hippocon rating. Matreiuss is trying to just hold until his economy gets in full gear. A little bit slow to get his trade route started. But really all he has to do is just keep the catapult population down. And if he can do that, he can kind of hold his position until his economy gets up. Also needs the medium. Okay, he's getting his armory upgrades, or his line upgrades now for the militia. Game's close. Matreiuss is in a good spot, though. Matreiuss is getting his Colossus upgrades, too. No upgraded wall tech yet for Kimo.
Yeah, it's not often you see Ballista Tower with basic walls.
Yeah. But we've got the mercenary cavalry coming up. Kimo still keeping this town center down, but it's not a big deal because Matreiuss still isn't even at full pop. So he's got technologies to get yet, so he doesn't need the town center right now.
I'd like to see more push building-wise with Vills from Kimo to try
tower
work
slowly
securing that TC, because the longer this game goes on with that TC kind of being up for grabs.
All right, here it comes.
Okay, there we go.
And this is not a good Matreiuss. I don't know why Matreiuss is fighting under all these towers. Like, this is just throwing away units here. I mean, we've got upgraded ballista towers, 15.4 attack. And he's throwing away his entire army. I mean, this is why Matreiuss isn't at full pop yet, is because he keeps throwing units And he's gonna try to run in. Oh, he can get
Kimo
the
still
Osiris.
hasn't built it.
No, he hasn't built his wall. Do these run in? Do they catch the Osiris? They're gonna come in all the way to the market. They're gonna get him. Osiris is like, God dang it! I thought I was safe back here. Who gets the kill? Oh, there. Oh, and he goes down. Osiris is down. I think both markets will go down too. Yeah, of course they will. Look how fast they go down. Wow. Your 30% hack armor markets just get destroyed. And now Kimo's trying to build this one up here.
Completely preventable.
Mm-hmm. Just a couple walls. And now, but now your Hatairoi, I mean, they actually could, they'll clean up these towers too, because towers do less damage to Hatairoi. So he gets this tower down, and this next one. One of them. There he goes. Oh, he's going to split up his units and get both of them at the same time. And here, though, we've got a bit of a scary tower push. And he has no fortress.
He hasn't got a fortress back up. That's the
No.
huge thing, because he's not able to counter off the tower push without the hull.
Oh, man, this is such a bad trade route now. Okay, both towers are down. And killing some more villagers, so that's good. But this town center, okay, here comes some Colossus. So rather than a fortress push, he's going for a Colossus push. But Kimo instantly reacts with his mummy. So I don't know how this Colossus push is going to go. He's even getting shoulders.
He's also taking horrible trades here because of all the tower spam.
Yeah.
Like, he's reacting to it way too late.
He's at full pop. Oh, he's trying to go for some side pushes down here. Okay, but this is, I mean, these side pushes are great, but not if it's at the expense of this town center. Like the side push.
Kimo can defend the side pushes with mercs.
Right.
So I don't think this is that terrible for Kimo, especially as that tower mass just keeps building and building. His biggest thing for Kimo in this game is getting that third TC back and evening the pop.
Okay, Kimo might grab a. Look at all the resources Kimo has in the bank. He's got 5,000 resources. And the Pharaoh just comes up to die. You don't want to see that.
Where'd the Colossus go?
He went over here to get on the trade route. He'll kill that Migdal Foundation.
Mummy's about to pick off the Colossus.
Oh, yep. Here it comes.
Accordingly.
Oh, he sees it. He saw it because of the wall. Did we ever get the... Oh, we did get the head of Orpheus. That's so good. Like to see that. Signal fires, head of Orpheus. This palace or fortress will go down. Because now that Kimo, or I keep getting these guys mixed up. Now that Matreiuss has his economy sorted out and he's at full pop, he can push this and get his town center back. But he's kind of valuing a little bit too much all these side raids. And I don't know if that's quite the play right now when he could be pushing through this. He's got the Toxotes shooting at the Ballista Tower. But Militia come in to be really annoying, kill the catapult.
This is where if he wasn't Poseidon, this game would kind of be going completely differently because Kimo would be able to clean up all this side stuff and push so much easier.
Right, Kimo kills a palace and then his catapult gets killed by the free militia. It's so annoying. And here comes this big boy. Oh, look at, come on! No! Oh, where are you going?
He's even attacking you.
The mummy's like, you're supposed to kill me. All right, here he comes. Here he comes.
No, it's chasing a Vilt.
All right. The big thwack right here. Pa-boom! I love it. This is what makes Age Mythology so fun. It's just these little unit interactions. It's so awesome. These minions, they're little militia down here.
Kimo's struggling on gold.
Yeah, we could see another... It would be worth it to send in another flock of Hatairoi in. And stab. The other caster is RyFang. T-O-A-O RyFang to go along with moi. T-O-A-O. Bruno JJ. Again, I would... No.
Where's Kimo's pop in his trade? Like,
Yes.
it's just he's not.
Yes, he's got how much trade? Let's pause real quick. How much trade does he have? Kimo's got I can't read the number. It's my text is in my way. Got I don't know, a lot. At least 40 it looks like.
It's just yeah, he's losing on all fronts. He's losing in the bot, he's losing on his trade, and he's not really pushing where the TC is. So
Yeah, he's gonna lose his market here. So a few too many kind of like. He has 45, it says in the UI. You're right. That's modern. Back in my day, we didn't have a UI like this, man. Give me a break. All right, so these Colossus will finish off the market once they get to attacking the Colossus. But, uh-oh, this is the danger here.
All right,
Come on, get the building shooting at the palace. Where's the Pharaoh? Here he comes. The buildings aren't shooting at the town center. This could be disaster. It's gonna go up. No way!
Oh my!
The steal right in Matreiuss's face. That's not good. I mean,
how's
look.
Kimo's bot TC doing?
It's
yeah,
fine.
The Mercs are holding.
Yes.
This game I thought Kimo was dead 30 seconds ago, and now he's in his best position all game.
Yes. Suddenly he's where he kind of wants to be. I mean, all of this is gonna die. I mean, I don't know if he's able to hold it. The Pharaoh did die. The market did get whacked down here. We've got the mummy coming in on the Colossus, so that's good. We're back to this market, so it's not terrible. But again, Matreiuss needs to. The side builds are great, and the multi-pronged attack is great, except when you allow stuff like this to happen. But it's gonna go down again. Oh, here's the Pharaoh. Warlords. So we've got Soup and Warlords.
Kimo's only at 130 pop, which is his downfall here.
Yeah, he has no, like, other than his mercenaries, he doesn't really have much of an army.
Have been kind of, his eco's been eaten away by the constant pressure.
Yeah, he's only got 47.
Build both forward and that TC and just...
Yeah, only 47. Arrow is down, and the town center goes down. All right, so it looked cool. But the town center is down. The market trade is a little bit off. Kimo's lost his trade route.
He's only got, what, like 20 vills actually gathering eco.
Yeah, they're all trying to build and stuff. But he keeps having to rebuild all of his ballista towers down here. Yeah, Matreiuss just needs to push through this.
I think this is just game.
Town center.
Just below a critical bill level.
At 42, he has no food either. He has lots of gold. Just because all of this food is down here, they have to keep building buildings and they keep dying. And now you've got all these siege units coming in and pushing in on the town center. You got the mummy who's looking for the Colossus, but Colossus is down here. Theseus notices. He's coming up here to get on the mummy. The mummy goes down. We do have the Helipolis are both almost dead. Yeah, it's looking good for Matreiuss now. Kimo he got this town center, which was great, but...
Other thing is, not only is he down critical amount of vills, but as Raw, you're merking out of at least one TC at all times, so you can only make vills from one TC to kind of catch back up on vill pop, so
right.
He's in a critical.
Yeah, because he's merking, full merc out of this town center, and now building villagers just out of one. So yeah, it's a very slow, because he's down to 36.
Problem's been snowballing because he's been having to merc out of both TCs too. So not being on 3 TCs all game and then having to defend multiple areas with merc.
Oh, here comes the mummy.
His vill count's been just dwindling and dwindling.
All right, the mummy needs to get on the Colossus here. And I guess this Hot Tyroi are doing. I mean, they're forcing so much idle time from all these villagers, and they're killing villagers. But Kimo is. I mean, we hold again up here. The Colossus. That poor camel caravan. He's like, well, of all the camel caravans, why me? Why did you hit me? We got Soup, the 5th, powering the market. And I mean, we're kind of... Kimo's He's
That's
at,
just
but look
enough.
at his
Kima's
pop.
His vil count is just too. Yeah, that's why he's
Yeah.
at 90 pop, is because he doesn't have the eco to support it.
Yeah.
He's got no food eco. He
Oh,
just
another
doesn't
push
have the
here.
bills to build and defend.
This could be, well, you might be close to the end here. I mean, because the Pharaoh's going to die. This market trade route is going to go down again. So he's going to be back to his bad market trade route. Slowly losing ground up here. Got this tower that's almost dead. One whack. There it goes. Pharaoh is on this. And well played. Well played overall by Matreiuss. A little bit of a mistake.
Kimo was just too slow to get that third TC secured.
You mean as far as like pushing forward with siege?
Yeah, like I think he needed a wall better to protect his early catapults. He sent a bunch of chariot archers to go raid bot early, which then just kind of died. TC.
Yeah, because your window here is the Ra is that early Mythic Age to push out before all of the armory technologies come in for the Poseidon with the special Hephaestus tech, and he just didn't. He was too slow to get there. And now we have, okay, I like this side walling, just to kind of permanently prevent this build from coming up.
The two critical holes in that middle wall that he still hasn't filled.
He never built a wall here. Like, usually Kimo's on top of it. Like, if you can build a wall, he builds 3. Whereas here, not quite. We got a catapult shooting at the Dromos, which does get promptly destroyed. And got these Matreiuss, like, slowly banging away at every single building that Kimo has, to the point where Kimo barely has anything left. He's got the score lead. Matreiuss finally thinking about grabbing this town center for himself. And the mercenaries do clean up over here, but Pharaoh, is he going to go down? He's going to go down again. No empowerment for you. And but here comes another one. Soup to 6th. We've got the Matreiuss coming at all these buildings. We do have a random siege tower. We've got just units just funneling in all over the place from Matreiuss. Okay. All right. Slow down this building a little bit here. And that market goes down. No big deal. Just the constant pressure by Matreiuss. I mean, it's tough to fight against all of that. Nice path blocking around this. Oh, is it going to go up? Oh, okay. It gets one hit.
Matreiuss just don't die to towers like normal units do, so they just, unless you have units to deal with them, they just kind of don't die and can pick off the vills, and when you're down a TC all game, you don't have the units to deal with them, so
Catapult.
the constant flood has just dwindled the vill count.
Kimo's being so annoying keeping this town center from being built, but again, we can look at the vill counts here. Kimo only has 30 villagers, and he's out of wood. Not a lot of food. And again, this town center is just purely pumping mercenaries. And like his villagers that were up here, now they're all trying to build these building these towers, and they just slowly keep dying to the point where we're under 30 villagers almost.
Yep, and because of the merc spam, he can only produce new vills off of the 1 TC, which is also the 1 TC constantly getting raided, so I'm honestly surprised he still even has 30 vills at this point, with the raid he's been losing them.
Yeah, here comes Pharaoh to help out, but almost all 3 of these towers are almost gone. Might get one. We have a market. Oh, we don't even have another catapult coming. So this town center is going to go up, and finally Matreiuss is going to get a 4-2 town center advantage back again. It's been a while, but he's back at 4-2 town center advantage as soon as this gets up, and I think at that point, I mean, he'll have the resource. He's just getting coinage. He forgot coinage. That's the technology that makes your trade go faster. Oh man, to forget it for that long. At this point, what makes you remember? And oh, it's over just as the mummy gets killed. It's over, and Matreiuss has won the tournament over Kimo. I mean, we kind of saw this result coming of him a long time, but it took a while.
Yeah, no, there were definitely points where Kimo had this game or could have made it a lot
Yeah.
closer than it was, and he just kind of the wall gap, allowing the Son of Osiris to get sniped and his trade to get disrupted, losing a few early catapults and even half the. I mean, he had shifting sands that he had to waste because he didn't protect the Son of
Oh,
Osiris.
yeah, you're
That
right.
just further slowed him down, the early pressure. So, I mean, half a additional half HP on a Son of Osiris would have helped put even more early pressure on it,
Yeah.
helped him secure that TC, and it just the little things allowed Matreiuss to buy time, and as he got more time, he just teched and then put all the pressure on that Kimo could never quite break.
Yeah, it's just opportunity lost in the early Mythic Age. The push out. Lost too many catapults, didn't wall. Just a little too slow, and that's your window. That's your window of opportunity here as Ra, because we saw that once the Greek got stabilized here with the Forge of Olympus armory technologies coming in. At that point, any pushing just ended from Kimo, and I mean he was kind of lost at that point. He survived a long time, which kind of says if he would have been able to push through at that moment, a completely different game. But in the end, very well played to Matreiuss. I mean, grabbing the entire map, the attacks on all sides. While he never got this town center down, it did just wreak havoc in Kimo's economy. And we can see he's at 30 villagers all game. Never got his final wood upgrades. But GG, what a fun series to end the tournament off with. And we give Matreiuss his 4th win. Congratulations to Matreiuss. He's really been playing well lately, and this was overall a very fun series to watch.
Much better than the first time these guys went at it. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think you can ask for a better final than this, going 7 games and going 7 games in the fashion it did, with these last 3 games all being kind of super close.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kimo tried to win off Ra for a little bit there, and once he lost his first couple matches, then he switches to Ra, and then had a few pretty decent wins. Did win that Greek war on Medit. I'm looking here. These early Vil kills did actually slow down Kimo's economy, because you could see he was just kind of pulling ahead and then fell behind a little bit. Pretty even. Right here is his point where Kimo needs to push out, but once he doesn't push out, you've got Forge of Olympus comes in here, ceasefire to save a minute of time, and then all the armory technologies. And Kimo's kind of similar in economy, but then just the slow and steady draw on his villager count.
I feel like the first 12 minutes kind of just went as good as you could have hoped for Kimo.
Yeah.
From his perspective, he was able to kind of. He took a little bit of ill damage. Matreiuss also took a lot of unit losses and kind of getting those 2 golds secured. And from there, he had the nice quick mythic timing, close TCs, and then he just kind of got a little sloppy with his minute or 2 window that he had to do damage, and that kind of just cost him it.
Yeah, but overall, it was a good game. You can see Kimo ahead in score for much of the game. That's because
tower spam there.
Yeah, tower spam, killing units, and Kimo was floating a decent amount of resources, which adds to the score. But score doesn't matter. Down 3-2 town centers. Briefly, very briefly, tighter in town centers, but didn't have the economy. Yeah, didn't have the economy. Like, if he's able to go up to 160,
but then down like 30 or 40 pop instantly, and then unable to reinforce, which just cost him that TC.
Yep. But all right, well, done with the tournament. Now what? Now what do we move on to?
Get a new PC and move on to the next stage of Age of Empires.
Oh, I don't know. I got the new PC for Age of Mythology 2. Whenever.
I mean, if it takes a couple more years to ship that PC, that might be the case.
But all right, well, guys, we're gonna end it at that. Appreciate all of you for watching. I'll find a stream to send all of you guys to. Oh, Boyd, send you guys off to Boyd. Maybe that's why it's a little quiet in chat. Everybody's watching Boyd. Plus, I know. I mean, this is probably the third time this was streamed. So, but it was fun. I enjoyed the
Shout out to Metaplays for hosting.
Oh yeah. Yep. If you haven't Metaplays, they got a Discord. I don't know what that link is, but I'll put it in the YouTube video for their Discord link and their website. But Metaplays, a direct derivative of Facebook. Meta.
I was just gonna clarify that was not the case, but now that you've misled everyone.
So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope all of those that tuned in and watched all of the duo-casted tournament for the Metaplays enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it. So it's fun. It's fun to kind of sit back, have RyFang join me, and kind of nerd it up, watch some recorded games.
I think we were right most of the time. A few errors there, but our predictions were generally pretty solid.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's easy to know what's going on when you can see the whole map.
That definitely does help.
But the one last thought here is like, so we could watch these games and see the mistakes that these players make, and they're the best players, and that kind of makes me think, how many mistakes am I making in my games? And like, it has to be so many more, and then I just don't realize in the heat of the moment. But yeah, easy to watch and pick out mistakes. Both these players really good.
The thing we saw is just the timing, like we saw in Mediterranean, like they run out of their gold and then 2-second delay and it's moved instantly. Yeah. There's no like pause there, because a pause of 5 seconds is going to cost you the game. But these guys were just right on top of all the little stuff like that.
Yeah, but all right, well that's it. So catch all you guys later for another stream. Appreciate everyone and the support, and hope you guys have a good week, good day, or whatever it is for you. And that's it. So goodbye.